On May 14th, 2010, Remedy Entertainment, the developer best known for the Max Payne games, released a supernatural action horror game called Alan Wake. The game was an instant critical hit and gained a devoted fan following, which has lasted over 10 years. However, the game was not the biggest commercial success, and even though a standalone DLC expansion was later released, numerous rights issues over the years led fans to give up hope of there ever being a proper sequel. Then, recently, Remedy regained the rights to Alan Wake and announced the upcoming release of Alan Wake Remastered. Fans went crazy, myself included. A chance to return to Bright Falls with a brand new coat of paint? It seems almost too good to be true. And now, with the possibility of a true Alan Wake sequel seeming greater than ever, it seemed like the perfect time to start a channel about video games and talk about one of my favorite games of all time. Grab your flashlight and your thermos and prepare yourself for an epic and thrilling journey into the heart of darkness. For starters, you might think that, given all the information I just provided on Alan Wake, I was a longtime fan. Actually, I only just played the game for the first time on PC this year. When the game originally came out, I was still playing Harry Potter games on my PS2 and my crummy PC laptop. Still great games, by the way. I had little to no experience with shooters other than Medal of Honor and Uncharted, the first one, which was one of my very first PS3 games. And I certainly was not interested in buying an Xbox or a better PC just so I could play a horror game. I used to be a bit of a wuss when it came to scary things. But now I have grown and I am slightly braver than I used to be. Slightly. So, once I finally got an acceptable PC, I found Alan Wake on Steam and began making up for 11 years of lost time. And I got sucked in right away. All it took was lighting up one shadow monster for the innocent Hogwarts wizard to turn into a genuine monster-slaying champion of light. So let's get right into it with the story. Alan Wake is the story of, well, Alan Wake, an author best known for the action thriller series Alex Casey. After the sudden decision to kill Casey off in the aptly named book The Sudden Stop, Alan has been experiencing major writer's block. In order to get over his frustrations, Alan and his wife, Alice, decide to take a vacation in the quaint and seemingly innocent town of Bright Falls. But, as always with seemingly innocent towns, things are not as they seem. After an interesting interaction with an obviously evil old lady, Alan and Alice arrive at their private cabin on Cauldron Lake. Their second honeymoon quickly falls apart when Alice is kidnapped by what appears to be a supernatural force, and Alan wakes up a week later with no memory of what happened. This is the basic setup of the game, and it immediately hooked me. What was going on? Who kidnapped Alice? Was Alan somehow involved and just didn't remember? The mystery is captivating from the get-go, and because of that, I will not be going into major spoilers here. With Alan Wake Remastered just around the corner, I don't want to ruin some other newcomer's chance to experience the game spoiler-free, just like I did. Just know that from here, Alan has to fight countless monsters of darkness, avoid the authorities, and piece together a mystery that is both psychological and possibly supernatural. Or perhaps Alan Wake is just insane. Play to find out. Trust me, you won't be able to put it down. Now, obviously, a story of this nature doesn't work if you don't care about the characters involved, and Remedy has that department covered. Everyone is fantastic, from our main heroes like Alan and Barry to bit players like a local radio host and a couple of rock stars past their prime. The sharp dialogue and expert voice acting makes these characters feel alive. Alan Wake is the hero of the story, but you get to see his dark side throughout. You see his anger, his frustrations with other people, even with his loving wife Alice. This calls into question who Alan really is. Barry acts as the comedic relief of the game, while also adding a strong emotional core as Alan's best friend. Sheriff Sarah Breaker acts as the voice of reason throughout the story, doing her best to make no assumptions about Alan or the situation he is in. She believes whatever she experiences, no matter how absurd it may seem, making her a very intelligent and likable character. The different antagonists throughout the game offer great foils for our heroes, but listing who they are would actually be spoiling the story, so I'll let you meet them yourself. Now we come to the key aspect of any good action game, the gameplay. Alan Wake is all about building a terrifying atmosphere, and the game looks and sounds fantastic, so it has no problem accomplishing that goal. The graphics are stunning, even on a lower tier PC like mine. You'll be running through dilapidated farmhouses, driving through beautiful forests, and exploring eerie clinics, all of which come to life thanks to brilliant use of lighting and color. The score is wonderfully creepy and builds the tension throughout, and the use of licensed music is flawless. But no one is going to be interested in exploring your beautiful, horrific environments or listening to your groovy tunes if they don't enjoy popping slugs into acolytes of evil. That's not what they're called, I just thought it sounded cool. The enemies are actually called the Taken, and they are as scary as they are fun to blow away. Playing as Alan, you will have two main tools, a gun and a flashlight, both of which have their own resources you have to collect and ration throughout the course of the game's levels. You'll have to collect ammo for your guns and batteries for your flashlight, making sure to let none of it go to waste. The Taken have a protective shield of darkness surrounding them, so before you can shoot them dead, you have to burn the shield away with the light from your flashlight. You can do this by just aiming the flashlight at them, but often you are dealing with multiple enemies, so you'll have to keep dodging, which means you'll have to power up your flashlight, which will cost you a battery if you do it for too long. This is where Alan Wake really shines, pardon the pun. You have to decide when it is best to use your resources and when it is best to just run to the next checkpoint, saving your supplies for the fights to come. In addition, you will also obtain flares and flashbangs, both of which are extremely useful but much more rare than the basic supplies, so use them wisely. Now, the gameplay is pretty much entirely made up of lighting up monsters with your electric torch and shooting them 3 to 5 times, which sounds like it could get stale really easily, but Alan Wake never allows this to happen. There are unique combat scenarios, different enemy types, and thrilling boss battles that keep the gameplay fresh and exciting. If you're anything like me, you will just want to keep running to the next fight and see what new monster you have to take down. Now, as far as flaws go, and everything has flaws, I actually think Alan Wake doesn't really have any. The closest thing I can think of is that the base game, without the extra 2 DLC episodes, kind of just stops. It's a really cool ending, very philosophical and dark, but it just ends. And really, the 2 DLC episodes act as the true ending of the game, which seems like a poor design choice. It's not that big of a deal, the base game is still fantastic, but do not play it unless you are going to get the 2 DLC episodes. Which is fine because if you get it on Steam or if you buy the remastered version soon to come, it includes the 2 episodes, so you will have the complete experience. Other than that, I can't think of any problems with this game. So what's the verdict? To me, Alan Wake is a mystery thriller horror masterpiece. The story is gripping from beginning to end, the characters are lively and relatable, and the gameplay is absolutely thrilling. To top it all off, the game looks beautiful and has a fantastic score. If you haven't played it before, I urge you to not miss out on the upcoming remaster. It looks even better, and Remedy has promised that the original experience will remain intact. You'll get to play it for the first time with it looking better than ever, while still having the same experience I did. If you want to take part in a scary and epic battle between light and darkness, if you want to see how far Alan will go to save the love of his life, if you want to learn for yourself what is actually going on in the quiet town of Bright Falls, then don't miss out on Alan Wake. Alright, that was my first video review ever. I hope you enjoyed it and that you'll give the game a shot, and maybe give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you think I should do more of these, and I'll share my thoughts about more of my favorite games. I'll probably also give my thoughts on Alan Wake Remastered when it comes out. Also, I seem to be one of the few people who loves Alan Wake's American Nightmare, even though I recognize its flaws, so I will probably do a review for that as well, and even later probably a review for Control, which is connected to Alan Wake in ways that I won't go into right now. Alright, that's it. God bless you guys, and I'll catch you on the flippity flap. Yeah, that's not going to be the catchphrase. Bye!